Would you destroy something perfect in order to make it beautiful? Hi there! My Chemical Romance's reunion tour of 2022 consisted of 72 dates in 15 different countries. A number of these shows also featured some amazing costumes from lead singer Gerard Way. So today, I'm going to try making a custom Funko Pop of the clown outfit that he wore in Berlin. Let's get started. I'm using this Galaxy Quest Fred Kwan Pop for the body. I really like the hands on the hips pose, which will hopefully convey some of that Gerard sassiness. I need to remove the head though, so to do that I just pop the pop into a pot of hot water for a few minutes. The head should just pop right off. Whoops.
I just got so emo I fell apart.
Yeah, the neck is inside the head. That is not great. I'm gonna have to remove the head plug. Oh, this isn't working. I need to melt the glue a bit more, so back in the hot water it goes. It's coming! Now that there's a gap, I might be able to shake it out without pulling it all off. Yes, finally! I've got out my Dremel equivalent, so I can sand down these raised bits that aren't required. It looks pretty rough, so I'm using this polishing bit to smooth it all out. Well, hopefully that's what's going to happen. I have no idea what I'm doing with this tool, to be honest. That seems to be okay, actually. I also need to fill in these lines, so for that I'm using this Viejo plastic putty. It dried out quickly, so now I can smooth it out with this emery board. I cut a little point at the end of the emery boards. It just gives me more control of the sanding. Now that is done, it's time to prime! I'm using Viejo Mecha Primer in white. This bit is much more fun than the priming. This is Viejo Model Air in medium yellow. Yellow can be pretty unforgiving as it will show every blemish, but on this custom, any little blemish will not be seen after I add those final touches. While that dries, I need to sort out the head. I need a figure that has shaggy hair hanging over the face, so I will be using this Duff McKagan figure. Into the pot you go, Duff. Oh, this head came off really easily.
Easy pumpkin peasy, pumpkin pie, mother.
Duff's luscious locks are not the right colour for clown Gerard Way, so I am priming over him with grey. Before I spray the hair, I am spraying the face with this Viejo Premium Airbrush colour in flesh tone. Whoops, I obviously have not cleaned my airbrush properly, as this brown paint is not spraying very well. Right, I cleaned it. It's still struggling though. Hold on a minute while I give it another clean. It seems to be spraying better now. I think there might be some blobs in the paint which was causing the blockage. There is paint strainers available to prevent this. I probably should get some of those. Now that the airbrushing is done, I need to make the little neck ruff. To do that, I'm going to use something called Warbla. Warbla is a thermoplastic which, when heated, can be moulded into whatever shape you want. I made these templates which I stuck down with some Pritt stick. Now I need to create the ruffle effect. I'm hoping this crazy idea of using these cocktail sticks will do the job. Yay, this seems to have worked. Yes, I have cut it into 2 parts. It wouldn't fit around the neck post the way it was, unfortunately. This will be the last bit that requires painting. But wait, I hear you say. What about the coloured dots? Can you imagine what my attempt to paint circles would be like? So, for those, I'll be making decals to stick on. I do this in Affinity Designer, but you could also use Canva. Before the decals can be stuck on, I spray the figure with a coat of satin varnish. I will be using microset to help the decals adhere better to the figure. This decal paper is a clear waterslide decal paper for inkjet printers. I probably should have applied it in smaller sections, as large decals can be a bit fiddly, especially if they have to go around a 3D shape. To help with this, I use a decal softener called Microsol. The little collar also needs some decals. Don't judge me, but I'm using decals for the eyes and eyebrows as well. Painting is hard. Now that the decals are finally finished, I need to stick that collar thingy on. I'm using araldite, which is a 2-part epoxy glue. It's pretty strong, so hopefully this works. While that dries, I'm going to play with some cushion filling. Actually, I'm trying to make the little pom-pom buttons on Clown Gerard's suit. Wow, they turned out better than I thought they would. As I do not want the red Sharpie staining the figure, I'm going to coat the pom-poms in some Mod Podge. But I can't stick them on just yet, as I need to spray over the figure again with the satin varnish. It just helps get rid of the shininess of the decals. I really love how this has turned out, but now I have to do something scary. I have to destroy it. Clown Gerard has what looks like some sort of motor oil running down from his hair all over his face and outfit. So I'm going to try and recreate that with this mixture of paint and satin varnish. This is actually the hardest part of this whole thing. My brain is like, no, stop, what are you doing? But I just have to ignore it. Now I have to do the same thing for the hair and face. With all that done, it's time to reattach the head. I'm using a craft knife to make the neck small enough to push the head back on. There we go. And now I can finally stick the pom-poms on. I'm using super glue to make sure they will actually stay on. They look pretty cute.
I know that I'm pretty.
Clown Gerard is almost complete, but he will need a box. I create the box in Affinity Designer. I am using a template from Pop Vinyl FAQ. Then I'll print out the designs onto some nice presentation card. I'm laminating the card to help strengthen the box and to waterproof it. Okay, now I just need to cut it all out and put it together. Double-sided sellotape. It's the best invention ever. To display Gerard in the box, I'm using the bubble from the Fred Kwan box. And that is the figure finished. Thank you all so much for watching. Now here's the final result.